What's up, guys? Bonafide Hustler here.
And Eric, the college picker.
That's right. We are sitting here on a lovely, what is it, a Tuesday morning?
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday, man. I had to second guess myself there. But anyway, welcome to the Green Room Life Show. The show's topic is 10 ways to be happy. We want to share with you guys 10 tips. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Before we go any further, I'm the Bonafide Hustler. I reside in Austin, Texas. I flip stuff I find from garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, flea markets, pawn shops, swap meets, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique booth, consignment stores in town. I am one of the founders of the Green Room, and I'm also a super active dude. Like, that's pretty much it. But it's very relevant to say that last part because we're talking about Green Room life now, which is all the stuff outside of the hustle. What's up, Eric? Who are you?
My name's Eric. I am one of the founders of the Green Room. I hustle on eBay and Amazon and Craigslist and Etsy. I also have a degree in pharmacy, studying for the MCATs, and I'm excited to talk about some happy stuff.
That's right. We got some people in the feed right now. We got 13 viewers, and I'm sure there are going to be more, but we've got Thriftology in the feed. We have Mike Raleigh. Jameson, what's up, Jameson? Oh, Jameson's like, he's a really good person to
he's a smiley dude.
Yeah, he's a very, very happy guy. Anyway, what's up, Jameson? We should have had you on this hangout. We still can if you want to be a part of it. But anyway, what's up? Hey, what's up, Preston? We have Reaganzilla in the house. What's up, Lucky? Chris, finally caught your show again. Thank you so much for hosting, brother. You're welcome, Lucky. And then Mario in the house. E64 Abel also in the house. That's pretty much it. So if you're watching this right now, it's a Tuesday morning. It's likely it's live, right? And if you look to the right of your actual, what you're watching on, there'll be a chat feed, right? The chat feed's one of those things where you can like talk amongst the people in the chat, and you can also like ask questions to us after we go through every one of these little tips or suggestions. So, these are not mandatory kind of things, but we do want to share with you guys 10 ways to be happy. And I really feel as if I didn't want to take all 10, right? I wanted to take 5 of them, and I wanted Eric to take 5 because who's to say that it's really the way to go? But I can honestly tell you, like, this has been tested for, at least in my life, over and over again. I can guarantee you that this stuff will work. And I'm pretty sure that 5 that Eric is going to talk about are absolutely tested, and they will work as well. So Brandon Penrod's in the house. Jameson's going to the gym. Boy, I already beat you, man. I'm already back from the gym, brother. Aussie Thrifter, what's going on? Not so perfectly me. What is going on? Good to see everyone. And anyone hustling Los Angeles is what Lucky said. Well, maybe someone in the feed is hustling Los Angeles. Okay, so it is good to see everyone. Let's get right to the topic. I guess sound check was good. Did I ask for sound check, Eric?
Sound check? No, you didn't. They probably can't hear anything you're saying.
That would suck. I actually did do a show the other day where I opened the first 2 minutes without any audio, and everyone's like, I can't hear you. Like,
oh, yeah, your microphone was being weird. We were on the other day, and you were just like talking nothing for about a minute or two.
Anyway, I don't know.
Scary.
I guess the sound check's good. I'll wait for a couple more people to come in and tell me that the sound check is good. We got 31 viewers in the house. 31 people want to, attain a little bit more happiness in their life. We get it. Now, if you're wondering, like, what the hell is this Green Room Live show as opposed to the Green Room actual hangout on Wednesday? The Green Room Live show is a very much anything goes unscripted Tuesday morning type show where we talk about all things that are not hustling related, all the things that, I think everyone needs to possess in order to have that good mindset to make money, to make changes in your life, all that kind of stuff. You're going to have good mindset and good habits. And that's what Green Room Life's about. It's all the stuff outside of the hustle. Eric, you going to say something? You sound like you were going to say something.
I'm looking at my notes.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, it's basically unscripted. We have a very basic outline that we want to, but it's nothing like the Wednesday night shows or anything like that. That's pure hustle type stuff, and it's going to be cool. Tomorrow's show, by the way, guys, is going to be awesome.
Super short outline.
Dude, you have a super short outline.
It's like one of the lines is one word.
And then Mario says, hey, Chris, I need to hit you up for some health advice. Hey, man, hit me up in the Green Room, man. Would love to help you out. Okay, so let's talk about number 1, 10 ways to be happy. So here's the first tip right here. What's up, Rakin? Good to see ya. Rakin's taking care of some personal things today, so he can't be here, but he might be on the show tomorrow. Maybe not. We don't know. Spend money on experiences. So, being a hustler and everything like this, it's tough. And I've been doing this my entire life, but I can understand from other people's view that when you spend money, you always want to get the best deal and all this kind of stuff and shop around. CP, is it like it's not uncommon. Like when you buy something on the internet and you have to buy something full price, you have to. Do you go scouring for coupon codes and all kinds of crazy stuff? Like
I
I think
do,
I do.
but sometimes you just can't. You can't find it for some stuff.
But
Like,
you try, right? You're
yeah,
trying to like always, right?
I tried, or I checked to see if it's in stock. Like in recently, the Google Pixel was on sale, but it was sold out everywhere. I couldn't get it anywhere, so I just didn't get the phone. And I really wanted that phone, but it didn't happen.
Okay. So when I say save money on, spend your money on experiences, you're going to have to open your mind to spending some money as opposed to, let's say, sheltering your money and all that kind of stuff, protecting it, like only using it for hustling type things. I think a lot of people fall into the category of like, maybe they want to make as much money as possible. They don't know what to spend it. They spend it on really, really irrelevant materialistic goods. Does that make sense? Whereas, and let me support this with spend money on experiences. What that means is spend money on items that'll take you places, that will do things for you, that will better your life. Let me explain. If you buy a new couch, right? That couch isn't going to do really anything for you, right? It might look better in your house.
Could
I'm
be
not saying
really
not to buy a new
comfortable.
couch. It's going to be comfortable, right? But it's not really going to do anything for you in an experience sense, okay? Now, if you buy a couch that's maybe 60% of the value, right? And you take that other 40%, let's say you buy a bicycle. Now, the bicycle opens up a big circle for you, right? Instead of these like tiny little circles that you do, you get bigger circles. And the people with the biggest circles always win in life. It seems like they're always the happiest. Eric, you've done a huge circle this year, right? Where you've biked across America and all that kind of stuff. If you didn't have the bike, would you have been able to attain that experience?
I could have hitchhiked, but not. It wouldn't have been the same experience. No.
And you still bought the bike smart. Like you bought
Yeah,
the first bike smart, you bought the second one really smart. Like it's not like he just paid full price for anything, but he spent money to attain an experience.
yeah. It was the first one I bought was off of eBay, and I had watched an auction, and then it ended, and nobody had bid on it. So I messaged the guy and got him to list it as a buy it now. I think 25% off of what he had auctioned it for.
Yeah.
So it was like 300 shipped for a bike that was $1,000 new.
There you go. So one of the things that some people might be going like, well, what do you spend money on? Bonafide. What do you spend money on CP to get experiences? Let's think here. I spent money in this past year, or at least the past 2 years. Let's talk about the past 2 years. I bought a boat in order to attain the experiences of wake surfing, wakeboarding, tubing, maybe, fun with friends. That's something that if I didn't spend money for the boat, it'd be really tough to get on the lake here. I spent money on that. I spent money on a 4x4 truck to take me to places that are distant in the Colorado hills and Utah place. Just it's tough without those kind of vehicles to get into some of these really distant places unless you hike, but that takes forever. So I did that. I'm always buying things for experiences, different skateboards, different bicycles for different applications. But when you look at my materialistic, like, what does his house look like or anything like that? It's a very basic house. Like I have 100. Well, when I paid for it, it was 150K, but like now it's worth a whole lot more. But I didn't buy the best house on the market. I don't have the best couches. I don't have an okay TV. And, I look at it like that. Like I'm not really home as much. I'm always trying to be outside a whole lot, like spending time with my wife, my dogs, riding, biking, doing things that really has practical applications and helps me become happy. So I guess I'll say it like that. Eric, how does your life is very basic too. You're a very basic type individual when it comes to no materialistic good. You don't have really anything. You have a couple Priuses, right?
Yeah, I got a couple Priuses, a Scion. No, I don't spend money that drastically on anything. The bicycles I do. If I see a good deal on a bicycle, I'll pick it up. I did recently spend a decent amount of money on the gear, like those Ortlib panniers, sleeping bag, so I didn't freeze on the recent leg from Phoenix to San Diego. Got really chilly at night. But it's usually gear or something that's going to be used physically or plane tickets.
There you go. And plane tickets, there's no way you can get to Thailand, for example, without spending for the plane ticket.
I was looking into like freight, like linking up with like a freight and just living on the boat for a couple of weeks. But
ship yourself in a box to Thailand.
That would be funny. No, you go with the freight companies or cruises or something. I was looking into that. Or you could buy a sailboat and sail there. That'd be cool.
But anyway, so that's number one. That's the number one tip is start spending some money on experiences. Don't be looking at materialistic goods and really try hard not to pay full price for anything, especially if it's like clothing related things that are just not going to really take you anywhere in your life, you know?
Oh,
Um,
full price clothing, that's awful.
that is a bad one. Full price. Here's another one that's really bad that kind of irks me, but full price holiday stuff. Oh my gosh. Holiday like just decorations and things and oh my lord, like just wait it out, guys. Wait it out, get it 90% off like a couple days after.
And
Go
then
to
save
garage
it for
sales all
next
year
year.
long and find all those Christmas lights that you would have paid full price for. Just be really cognizant of where your money's going and spend it on really important things that'll take you places. All right, so what's your number one, CP?
Uh, my number one isn't. They're not all really necessarily in order, so I wouldn't say this is my number one. But I have inexpensive hobbies, things that aren't really going to be costing you a bunch of money, but are actually going to be, preferably physical, burning calories. For instance, skateboarding could be a very inexpensive hobby. All you need once you have the board and the wheels and everything set up, that's pretty much the only barrier to entry. Rollerblading can be an inexpensive hobby. Basketball can be an inexpensive hobby. Bicycling, that's an inexpensive hobby. Surfing, things that once you get the piece of equipment, and if you're in an area where it's popular or accessible, then it's can be very inexpensive.
Or you could just know someone with a boat in Austin, Texas, right? And
Yeah, but
so
then I gotta get to Austin and then smash my face trying
I
to
remember when you
wakeboard.
came down and you're like, when are we gonna go on the boat? And like as soon as we got on the boat, you're like, dude, let's just like wakeboard the whole time and wake surf. And he's like, you were trying to like sell. I don't know if it was Rakin or someone else. You're like, dude, this is like the perfect opportunity to learn. You got to learn, man. This is cheap. Like this is the way you do it. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's pretty
to
smart.
get that experience. It's going to be at least $100 to like do it at a tow park, not even with a boat.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I've been there, and it's not the same exact experience either. But anyway, so that's his number one. My number two. Well, I'll say that's number two from his side. So number three will be make vacations. They don't have to be huge or anything like, but make vacations a goal. I think a lot of people are like, yeah, can't take vacations because everything's so crazy. But if you get your whole family involved and everyone really on the same page and book things way in advance, I mean, it's like committing early. Like, damn, I have to like make that money back and I have to make my goal and the goal should be the vacation. And I'm not just talking about one a year. You got to take like 4 or 5. Like you got to take these, even if it's like a weekend trip, still counts. Like yesterday, I was looking at reserving a place in Utah for like 10 days for May. Like, and that's what I was doing last night before I went to bed. I was like looking into like the hotels and everything because I want to pull the trigger now. It's a very popular place. If you're watching my blogs, you know what I'm talking about. But vacations are very important. I don't think I can stress it enough. I mean, work is important too, but certainly not as important as kicking it back, spending time with your family, learning a new experience, seeing some new places. Like vacations are they're absolutely priceless. At the end of your life, when they say when people pass away, there's like 5 things that they regret. Not going and traveling was like one of the lead things that people regret before they die.
Oh, if I died and I was like in the same county that I was born in, it'd be like a failed life.
Yeah, so you gotta get out there, and then when you hear vacations, I mean, a lot of people might get triggered and go, "Man, that's like money. That's a lot of money." You can do day trips. You got to start small. Take some of these day trips and go check out something close to your town. Maybe it's a waterfall, maybe it's a springs, maybe it's something, maybe it's a really cool hike. Start small and then build that thing into a 2 3 day trip, and then a 4, right? And then bring your family along. Like explore. You got to do those kind of things. It's very important. And then maybe 2 times a year you do big ones like week 10 days long, like that kind of stuff, and you build up for it, you save up for it, you make a really big goal to hustle strong for it. So that's really important. Make vacations a goal to achieve. What's your number 4, man?
My number 4 is, I mean, these are actually kind of catered more to me. I did it. People can take it as it comes, but I mean, they might not work for everybody. But for me, it makes me really happy when I use two-wheeled transportation. Let it be a scooter, a moped, a motorcycle, a bicycle. Like whenever I'm on 2 wheels and I'm going somewhere or just like going out to along the beach or something, it makes me smile if I'm in a bad mood. If I'm commuting to work on something that's 2 wheels, it's just a different experience than riding a car. You can't really explain it. It's free, it's immersive. Like I don't know, it just makes me smile. It makes me happy.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the feed real quick because we're gonna go to UCP in 1 second, but the feed real quick. What is your number one tip that you can give us to stay happy? What's your number one tip for us? I'm just really curious because I always want to hear people's tips, always. And CP's tip is really interesting to me right now because two wheels does feel. I mean, I've spent a large majority of my life on two wheels, but I've also spent it on boards and water and snow. Like I've done a lot of that too. But two wheels, I can see where CP is talking about. Like that's I've done motorcycling, I've done everything, dirt biking, I've done it all. But like two wheels is you're right. You have a lot more control with two wheels, and you tend to anytime you're on two wheels, you tend to have a complete like 360 vision, like nothing obstructing you, as opposed to a car when you're in four wheels, you have the pillars and like you got to watch out for other cars. Like when you're with two wheels, it's kind of like I don't know. It feels like you're free, right? CP?
There's definitely a feeling of freedom.
Yeah, especially when you ride with flip flops, huh?
Freedom, immersion. Oh man, I wrecked my toe riding in flip flops.
Yeah, American Hustle he's saying exactly what I was thinking. Like if you don't like four wheels as much as two wheels, so then what if you just do one wheel across the country, like just unicycle everywhere?
I don't know where I'd put all the panniers. I don't know where
Right.
to put unicycle in a bag, and I can't even unicycle. I've never tried it before.
There was a thing in the feed from Lauren who said, "I'm saving my eBay money to buy a cabin for my husband, and I'm really close. Then we can have a mini vacation every weekend." You know, I can honestly attest to that. That one of my goals immediately probably in the next 5-10 years is to acquire some ranch land that's within an hour from my house, and just so something I can break away for in a weekend if I'm like, I don't want to be on the boat, or I don't want to do this in town, or I'm bored of Austin. Believe it, it can happen. I want to be able to go out in the country and get lost for a while, right? I don't have to have a crap ton of acres, but I have enough to where I don't hear a peep, and that's really important. Not the marshmallow peep, but like a real peep.
Andy Ferris says ride a four-legged horse. Horses are pretty cool. That's a very primitive form of transportation. I think that has a really cool feel to it as well.
I need to start doing that because I've never ridden a horse in my life.
Shut up.
I'm serious, dude.
No, shut up.
Dude, a horse, you can't jump. Well, you can jump a horse, but you can't like trick a horse. Like I don't know. Like
what do you mean trick a horse? Like trick a horse?
Like when you're wakeboarding, you can do tricks. When you're biking, you can do jumps. Like like a horse, it's like,
dude. Have you ever been to a rodeo? There's some horse tricks.
Okay.
But I mean that's how you get paralyzed.
Okay, yeah. One of my goals next year is
I've never ridden a horse.
Maybe I'll ride a horse on one of my vlogs. If people want to see me ride a horse on a vlog, I'll pretty much do it. Like I probably will do it. No, I mean I really want to.
You'll go ride a horse, then you'll have to go to the chiropractor.
Well, my back's in pretty good shape now. Okay, so Angel Sullivan says fishing is my favorite happy time. That's pretty cool. That's one thing I've always wanted to learn a little bit more about. I'm kind of, I don't know, like pulling hooks out of fish's mouths. Like, oh, I don't know why. To me, I don't know. It feels like I'm doing a lot of damage, just like the fish. But eating fish, I love it. Right, catching fish, I've done deep sea, I've done saltwater, but I don't know. Like never stuck to me. But I've never had like a mentor also that shows me everything. So anyway, all right, so what are we at now? Are we at you or me?
I just did two-wheeled transportation, and we got on horses.
Number 3 on mine, or should I say this is number 6 overall, is acquire a new skill. This is really important. I'm talking about an active skill. So if you're like, crap, here goes the fitness talk again, right? I'm talking like really seriously here. A real good fitness skill opens up a lot of doors. Not only does it make you healthier, but it makes you happier in a sense that you get to, be around people that are doing the same thing as well. How many times have you gone to a town and you see people running around doing 5Ks or whatever? I'm not saying do a 5K, but I'm saying running is one of those big time things that, runners want to be around other runners, right? Road cyclists want to ride around with other road cyclists. And it's not like if you get a road bike, you have to go super fast all the time. There's like these things called no drop rides where they don't drop you and they go like really slow. And you can break in very, slowly into a really, nice little, how do I say it, new skill. And a skill is an active skill is anything that requires your body to go from point A to point B. It's probably going to require some sweat, a bit of an exhaustion type thing. And, but at the same time, it requires balance, typically core involved and stamina, and that's really fun to have. Like after a while, you realize like it's very quick. The human body responds quickly if you're happy and you're enjoying it, right? But in order to be happy and enjoy it, a lot of times you have to be around a lot of other people that are beginning as well. So don't ever put it past you to acquire a new skill. Believe it or not, you can do a lot of things. The human body can, oh man, I mean, we've seen it with Reagan, we've seen it with myself. Anytime I get injured, I go through crazy rehab, but at the same time, the human body can do incredible things. You know, when you think it's like done and over, and you're like, damn, I never want to have that kind of pain again. I mean, you got to really, really, how do I say it? Rehab yourself, or go to get professional help, and then attempt again. That's really what it comes down to. That's what life is. College picker. Acquire a new skill. What's the last newest skill you've acquired? Latest one within the past, let's say, 2 years.
That's maybe wakeboarding. I've had never wakeboarded until I got to your place.
Really?
Wakeboard and wake surf. Yeah, I
You've
never
never
I've
wakeboarded until
never.
What?
Never.
Did you get up on first try, first pull, or
not? For the surfing I did, but not for the wakeboard. The wakeboard I got up on second.
Second pull? Okay, that's pretty good. When
Yeah,
I got up on like
that
fifth pull.
is one of the most physically demanding things I have ever done. It is very. Oh wait, no, I did do it once. But it wasn't. It wasn't nearly as like manicured as your lake.
Yeah.
Like it was like a choppy ocean. It was not a good environment.
Yeah, that's where you get hurt. So the wakeboarding, okay, and wake surfing, right? That was the first time you did that, right?
Yeah, that was the first time I had done that.
And you actually were able to toss the rope back in, which is important. If you think wake surfing, do you think most people know what wake surfing is, CP?
No.
Explain it.
So with wake surfing, you're on a board that doesn't have the bindings to your feet. You're just free standing on a board, and you are going a lot slower than you are on a wakeboard, and you try to get into the wake to where you're just riding it like a constant wave on a beach. You're just going that slow, cruising behind the board. You start with a rope, but you can throw it away and just use the power of the water.
Yep, it's pretty fun. It is. It takes a while to learn it. CP on his first day on the lake was able to throw the rope back in, which is kind of a huge accomplishment. Like that just means you understand the dynamics of the wave and everything. You don't need the rope to pull you anymore. Pretty fun stuff, but very, that's not as physically demanding as wakeboarding. Wakeboarding, you can get injured really quickly, but still.
I almost blacked out when we were wakeboarding when my head hit the water.
It is a very interesting skill, right? I acquired it many, many, many years ago, and I wanted to revisit it. Hence why I bought the boat again. So that's one of those things right there. I think it's a very important. I'm always looking for new skills. In fact, one of the new skills that's around my horizon, I've done it, here and there, is bouldering and rock climbing. Like I kind of want to get back into it. I used to be kind of into it, but I want to get back into it. So, and really give it a good shot and get some clinics and courses and really learn. So that's me. That's what I'm going to be working on, my new skill. Like you might be thinking like, damn, Bonafide, you don't need any more skills. Same with CP. Like, why do you need more skills? You guys are proficient. Like it's all about learn. Like once you acquire a skill from something, you start realizing that a lot of things are possible, college picker, like you start, nothing's past you. Like you would try anything at this point, right? You've done snowboarding. You've done so many things, right?
Anything short of like heroin. Yeah, I'll do.
Sweet. Yeah, that's a skill you don't want to acquire right there. Anyway, all right, so we got large flipping family in the house. Brian Huntsman, what is up? He said, snowboarding is the most difficult new skill I've ever tried. Never been so sore in my life. Yes, snowboarding day 1 and 2 is brutal. But stick it out, man. Brian Huntsman, I'm telling you right now, like snowboarding is super awesome. Like that
once you learn your edges and don't flip on your face on your back like without trying, then it'll get a lot more fun.
That's right. Skiing is Angel Sullivan's thing. Lots of really, really interesting comments. Here's one about the horse thing. Thriftology says, I live in Kentucky and I went to the World Equestrian Games not too long ago. They are smart. They are a smart and majestic beast. Oh, interesting. Aussie Thrifter says, playing sports is my favorite thing. That's good, man. I love seeing people that says playing sports is my favorite thing rather than watching sports is my favorite thing. Thriftology says, hey, Chris, you just need to buy a Hummer from Fort Worth. That guy was talking about. Yeah, someone, Dumpster Marcus told me to buy a Hummer from an army place. Because I don't know if you watched the latest video, but I was in a Hummer in Utah, and it's really nuts. But it might be one thing I get.
An army Hummer? Like a retired army Hummer?
Yeah, like a real Hummer. Like not an army one, but basically an H1. Is that H1, the one that's like the really wide one? Yeah, so like that one.
Really wide and really durable.
That thing will do the craziest things you've ever seen, man. Angel Sullivan says skiing was the most amazing thing I've ever tried. Snow skiing, rock climbing, 2 favorite hobbies I don't get to do very often. That's Thriftology. Large flipping family says playing with my kids is my favorite. There you go. Lauren says I like this person, man. Lauren or this hot chick Thrift, we need to hang out. Says I really want to get into fat biking. Haven't done it yet, but I have friends who do it. It looks so amazing. You know what that means, CP?
Like the snow bikes, the big
It's
tires,
the big tire bikes. Yeah.
like the beach bikes and the snow bikes.
Yeah, I haven't. I have done it a couple times, and then one of the easiest ways to get into like that and to try it out, subscribe to your local bike stores in town. Okay, when I say that, like follow them, like get your email, like link all the way up with these local bike stores. Why? Because places like people like Santa Cruz, Trek, Specialized, Salsa, all those people do demo days, right? In Austin, anytime a demo day comes, like I register my brother, me, my neighbor, and we just go there, and you get to just rent their bikes for 30 minutes on hand, free. Okay, and sometimes it's very specialized type stuff. Like Santa Cruz might be like, oh, it's our newest like 29er, with 6-inch travel, a couple other bikes. But every now and then they have the full arsenal out there. There was one day I went out and Salsa was there, and they had all their fat bikes. So I got to try like this Bucksaw one, this other one, and like it's really cool. I got to try mid fats, true fats, and these are bikes with really fat tires, and you get them down to like 8 psi, and then you go blasting um, through the woods, and it's really it's interesting. It's not as fast as normal mountain biking, but it's like totally weird. But it's fun. So anyway, snow bikes, mountain bikes, yeah, really big in Oregon or Minnesota as well. Zip lining, okay, cool. That's Josie Rosales. I see this always say Josie. It's Josie Rosales' presence right there. Took my 16-year-old zip lining. That's fun. Thriftologist says I really want to get a new skill. I want to get into Amazon merch. Hey, that's good skill. Not active skill, but it's a good skill. Okay, so let's talk about your number. Let's talk about number 7, CP.
I think this is number 6.
Are you sure?
I think so.
I went first.
On the even numbers.
Okay, fine.
I'm going to go with my tip of slowing down your mode of transportation. So I actually hadn't had a car for the last year almost, and I've been really productive, and actually it's increased my happiness a little bit. When I ride the bus, I get to read a book, I get to like work on my phone, I get to do things that are more productive where otherwise I would be driving somewhere. I'm getting transported either by Uber or by a bus. It just kind of slows it down rather than me having to drive somewhere, and that made me a little bit happier. I felt like I had more hours in the day. I was getting things done. Even if I'm sitting at the bus stop, I'm doing something productive. Like I had more time to do that.
Okay, that's very interesting. Is that more for someone that's like, because I know you go from town to town, sometimes you do a 2-month stint, and for someone with like an eBay business, for example, and some of these other businesses like MF, Amazon, for example, would that be like, how would you get to the post? Like, you're talking like, are you proposing maybe cargo bike or something like that to bring your boxes around?
You could do a cargo, like literally if you just mixed it up and said, I'm going to ride my bike to the post office to drop it off, or there's a bus route here that I've never taken. Like I'm just going to take the bus route just to see how it works and where it goes. Like it's interesting. Or this train this commuter train, like you've never taken.
Interesting. We don't have Uber in Austin, Texas, so it's like, damn, like now everyone wants to, like everyone drives. Uber and that Lyft company got booted out of our town. Yeah. They got booted out. It kind of sucks. They were here for a while, and then something was having to do with their background checks, and like because there were some like really shady drivers or something. And so like Austin was like, yeah, they have to have mandatory background checks on all Uber drivers, and Uber didn't want to pick up the bill. They wanted the city to pick up the bill for that, and the city was like, yeah, right, see you later, like, and they kicked them out. So or we voted on it, and they were like, no way. Everyone was like, no, that's like for you to do. Like it's your company, your employees, like you should do the background checks. So that's what it came down to. Uber is expensive, says Halloween props. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised to understand how expensive actually owning a real, like a normal car is, like day by day. It gets crazy when you break it down to the mile, right? What is it, like cents per mile, right, CP? You get to really realize like it's nuts, man. With like all the insurance rolled in, the depreciation rolled in, the gas rolled in. Did I say the insurance? Upkeep divided by all the miles you do in a year. You would be really like, holy crap! Like, and then Uber doesn't sound that. Yeah, Uber doesn't sound that bad at that point. You're like, oh man, that doesn't sound like that bad of a proposition.
So, and you don't have to drive anywhere.
That's true. Yep. And then you're like, you hedge your other time with someone else messing with their time. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so let's go to, I guess, number 7. And here's one. Is challenge yourself to learn something new, not something active this time. And I'm talking about things like, and you can find different groups in town. Meetup.com is one of the best websites to find different groups in town to hang out with, to learn something new. Now, it could be something like wine tasting, cheese pairing, beer people, poetry nights, art, this and that, but you got to find a way to learn something new, just to get around it and see if it's like for you or not. One of the things that's around my horizon, to be really honest with you, is it not, it's not called MMORPG or whatever, but it's just a straight up strategy RPG. Does that make sense, CP? Or strategy games? Like the board ones though.
Oh, board games.
Like Catan and like all those Carcassonne, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Warhammer. Like, I've been sitting back and I've always like the people that play those games seem really, really happy to me. Like they're on groups and they're always talking and having fun and cutting up, and it looks really interesting. The social stigma, of course, is just like, oh man, don't become a nerd, don't become a dork, right? Because everyone thinks those guys are dorks and everyone, you know what I'm saying. But I don't know, it always intrigues me a whole lot. And I'm like, damn, like that's just, I don't ever want to write that off. And I've always told my wife, like, I want to like learn, and just find
Carcassonne's
some
really easy
time
to play.
and like how to do
Carcassonne's
that.
really easy to play. Ticket to Ride's really easy to play. Katana I haven't played.
I sold my last Ticket to Ride for more than what I was selling for on Target for some reason.
Ticket to Ride's easy.
Yeah, I want to learn how to, I'm talking about some of the bigger ones, the ones that kind of take a little bit of time. Like I'm not even putting like, let's say Dungeons and Dragons past me. Like I would learn something. Like
Risk.
not what?
Like Risk.
Like Risk is a big game, right?
Yeah, that game's huge.
Yeah. But yeah, Henry S says Mr. Rogers says learn something old every day. That's interesting. But yeah, I'm just like I'm at one of those stages now where I don't know. I just almost want to like experience all this different stuff. So whether it comes to
Chess.
food
Do you know how to play chess? The game of
chess is awesome.
the
Yes.
the most universal game in the world.
Yes. Chess is like really, really fun. I wish I could find more people to play chess with. My brother happens to be like really, really good. So like playing him is just like I'm going to lose regardless. But
no, then you got to study. There's books, dude.
I have a couple
chess.
chess books in this thing. I do actually have a couple
you can
chess
do
books.
chess problems. It's interesting. I did the chess phase in college and learned a lot about chess.
Yeah, I have some chess books in there. I have poker books. I have a lot more poker books than chess books, but halfway decent in poker. All right, so let's go to yours real quick.
This depends on your time of your life, and I currently don't have one, but pets can bring a lot of happiness to people, especially if you don't have kids or grandkids around. Kind of gives you a reason to gives you a reason to live. You come home, you get greeted, like it gives you a reason to get out walking the dog or taking the dog to the dog park, to get out and get social with other people with pets. Bring a lot of smiles to people's faces.
Yeah, pets are good. I have 3. I love them. Play with them all the time, every day, man. And yeah, they will absolutely bring happiness to you. I guarantee you. That's the reason why they got therapy dogs, right? They bring therapy dogs to places where kids are suffering from cancer or people are at nursing homes. Like they always bring cats or dogs. It just brings a smile to people's face. Now, I think if you owned one in real life, yeah, it's a little bit of a commitment, of course, but it's definitely a good investment when it comes to your happiness. So,
even if you don't want to own one, if you want to like try one out, there's foster programs at a lot of places where they will foot the bill of like food, shots, and you just house the dog for a couple of weeks or a couple of months.
There you go. Thirstologist says, I've listened to the Wu-Tang Clan for years now. I've been a master at chess. It's an inside joke. Anyway, they talk. Yeah. Anyway, so large flipping family says thoughts on how to integrate these things with a family. One of the most, I guess, when it comes down to my, let's say, Facebook feed, I don't really check it very much, but I envy a couple, I guess, families on that Facebook feed. One is a person that I visited in Hawaii. I put it on a vlog like 2 years ago, and that is a family that has like made it, very clear, like TV is not important, tablet's not important.
It's when you rode the dirt bike through the like sugarcane fields.
Mm-hmm. It was that video. But I visited my friend Justin and his wife Jodelle and the 2 kids out there in Hawaii, and they live really close. They live on North Shore. They live really close to the beach. And they just value different things. Like if you start looking at like from a top line view, you start realizing like, man, it seems like a mandate, that they do this, but that they're doing it for many good reasons. And very intact family structure. Kids are super active. The kids are going to follow everything that you do, right? If you start doing something active, you start getting involved with something, the kids are going to be curious and they're going to want to follow and do the same kind of things. So no surprise that they came from Texas. I used to trade with them down here as a stock trader kind of thing. They moved up there once they made a pretty decent amount of money, and they didn't know anything about surfing. They didn't know anything about island life or anything like that. They were eating organic foods and, being good parents like that. but they go up there and they just learn surfing, they learn bodyboarding, they learn rainforest walks and mountain biking, and they even have downhill mountain biking out there, CP of all things. Um, and yeah, they just learn the outdoors. Like there's just everything outdoors, every single thing. And then before you know it, man, those kids are just entering surf contests and they're just loving it. And you don't see a single picture with these kids with like a tablet in their hand, iPhones in their hand. Um, like there's no TV in the house either.
So they're living in the 90s.
I'm telling you, man, like I can't really say. I'm a content creator, so I have to have this kind of stuff, but I can't say with the utmost confidence that stuff is beneficial in any way, unless you are a content creator. I mean, that's the only way. Like, how are you supposed to tune in with the world and know your audience without getting online all the time? So, like, that's the only reason. But outside of that, like, if I could have a choice, I really would ditch the cell phone. I would ditch a lot of things. I don't know how I'd call my friends. I'd straight up smoke signal Eric every now and then. But I don't, it's just an interesting lifestyle. But to answer her question, yeah,
right.
To answer her question, thoughts on how to integrate these things with a family, that is something that you're going to have to decide and lead. That's what a family that you have to lead. You're the top, and if you lead, you have to lead with confidence. You don't have to lead because you have to do it. You want to lead because you want to do it, right? Haves and wants, very important. Anyway, what was is that mine or yours?
That was yours.
That was mine, right? Go ahead.
So yours was what? Live in Hawaii and you'll be happy?
No, I said challenge yourself to learn something new. Like, don't put up walls and learn something new. It doesn't matter if it's
in an intangible
how to barbecue
sense, right?
something.
In an intangible sense, like
if you're just like, oh, you know what? I've always learned I wanted to learn how to barbecue a brisket, for example. Like, I've never known. It's an art, right? Or I want to learn how to roll sushi. Learn something. So
learn something.
Yeah.
This is my number 10, I think. That was 9, right?
You would be number 8 now.
This is 8?
That's 8.
Okay.
just read it, man. God.
It's not the right number. It's not going to work. Anyways, this is going to be opening yourself up to a different culture. Maybe if you live in Houston, there's like Chinatown or Korea stuff or whatever, Vietnamese restaurants. If you've never even had that type of food before, like, what's going to stop you from going in and trying it? Even if you know nothing about it, literally humble yourself, ask the people, hey, I've never had this type of food before. I'm really interested in it. What's the best thing I could get? And then they will order for you. They'll be more than happy to help you, and you will have tried something you've never tried before. Immerse yourself in a different culture. Maybe go to a different country. If you can't do that, at least that part of town or a restaurant or something.
Yeah, I support that one. And that's a good statement that you put, which is like, when you get to there, you're sitting there like, oh my God, sometimes these menus are like nuts. Like, you
don't know what to order.
You've no idea.
And a lot of times those dishes, you go with a group of people and you don't order a single dish. You order for the whole table and everyone eats everything. Like, it's a completely different plate structure than like an American style Caucasian mentality, where it's like the plate in front of me is the only thing I can eat.
Right.
It's more like feast. Oh, it's kind of like Thanksgiving feast every time they eat dinner, where you can eat everything on the table.
Yeah. One of the cultures that I've
sharing
for a decade or two, one of the cultures that I'm like, oh my God, so enamored by is Thailand and Thai food, right? Love it. I love it. I love Thai food. I mean, that's the reason why I think at some point this year I'm going to go to Thailand, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, but you got to learn Thailand first, Eric. I ain't coming until you learn it. But basically what he's saying, the suggestion that he said is very key. When you come to these restaurants, expect to find a menu that you're like, what the hell do I order? Like, what the hell? So you just get to the appetizer section, you look at the waiter and you go, hey, what's the best thing to order? Like, what does everyone order for the appetizers? Then you get to the meal, you're like, what's the most popular thing? I always say, what's the most popular thing? Boom, close the menu. I want it. As long as it doesn't have some crazy allergies that I can't have, I'll take it, right? Because when the masses order something, that's usually one of the lead dishes from that country, or what I'm saying. So you go to a Thai restaurant, most people are going to say pad Thai, right? Or the curries. Like, that's just what most people order. The one food thing that I've never been to that I want to try is like Ethiopian food. I've heard nothing but amazing stuff about it, but
I've heard good stuff about it, but I haven't been to one yet.
Yeah, I haven't been to one either, and
take my own advice.
It's just one of those, like, I want to, everyone's talking all this good stuff about it. And I've had a lot of good food from a lot of different cultures, but Ethiopia has to be one of the ones that I haven't had yet. There's only 2 places in Austin to get it. So I just need to do it. It's one of those things. And I keep seeing it on people's feeds, and they're like, "Dude, this thing is super good." And I'm like, "Okay," but I'm not gonna know what to get when I go in that place. So, is there a little bit of fear? Yes, but at the same time,
It's a little fear, embarrassment, but you just have to get over it.
yeah, you just got. I mean, you just got to go in and be like, "All right, this is either gonna be really good or it's not gonna be that great." And that's the only way you figure it out. That's the only way you figure out about different restaurants in town. It's like that. You have to go. You got to make the judgment call for yourself, even if it's on a cuisine that you already know about. That's just the same concept of trying something new. All right. So, and Filipino food is so good. So Greg Dagarush, or what his name? Yeah. Says Filipino style dinner, dude, best. Filipino food is so good. It is amazing. How many people in the feed have had this thing called lumpia? I'm just really curious. Just say like, holy, is it good or not? If you've had this thing called lumpia, I'm curious. One thing I've never had, and I think I might do it on a vlog, by the way, is this thing called balut. Do you know what balut is, CP?
I don't. I honestly haven't had too much interaction with Filipino cuisine. I've never even seen a Filipino restaurant here.
Yeah, they're hard to find. There's only like two in Austin. There's like one in Austin actually. But okay, so lumpia is basically like Filipino egg rolls. Amazing. But the balut is this unborn intact chicken in an egg. And
I've had that in Vietnam. I guess it's
yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've had that before.
It's supposed to be like really good aphrodisiac.
It's a duck,
Is it a duck? Is it a duck?
Yeah.
I don't know. People in the feed are gonna let me know.
It's a duck embryo, like a half-developed duck embryo.
It's a half. Yeah. It's not a fully developed embryo, and you eat the whole thing, like
I've
everything.
Had that. The little beak,
yeah,
the little feathers,
the
little feathers looking at you.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I'm like, but all the Filipino, like straight up Filipino people swear by it. I'm sitting there like, you ever seen that Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom? You ever see that movie where like the platters come in front of them and it's like all kinds of weird stuff and that the chick faints and everything? That's kind of like my approach to it. I'm like, oh my God, like this is crazy. But if everyone says it's really good, I'm gonna have to try it at some point. I'm gonna have to try this thing.
You haven't had it yet?
I haven't had it yet. Greg says one.
Philippines, or can you? I'm
no,
sure
no, you can get it from certain. Yeah, they have balut in certain places, but every time I see them, like no. But
dude, just close your eyes.
Say it's like a chicken nugget, like.
No, it's not like a chicken nugget at all. Chicken nuggets don't have feathers.
Well, maybe some McDonald's in this town. You never know, man.
Douse it in sriracha or hot sauce and just close your eyes and eat it.
Picking up the pace says my in-laws ate balut. They said the crunchy beak is the best part. Oh, okay. Texas Gal Treasures, what's up? She says bona fide feigning. Yes. Monkey brain is Mr. Sadie 123. That's the thing from Indiana Jones Temple of Doom was the monkey brain thing. And clearing clutter for clarity. Here's some good stuff. I tried Ethiopian. It was good. Awesome. Greg says I once ate 10 baluts in one sitting. That's crazy, man. I can't say it's crazy. You know why? Because I've never done it. It could be amazing. So yeah, I don't want to build that.
Do you like egg yolk? Like there's a huge egg yolk sack.
I do like egg yolk. I do, but there's only so many egg yolks I can have, and then I'm like, oh, I want to throw up.
Well, it's just one if you're only eating one.
Josie says, ew. Yeah, and
they had it on Fear Factor. I was watching it with my friends, and he was from Vietnam. He's from Saigon, and he's like, dude, we ate those last night, and they were on Fear Factor.
Here's what you want to hear a funny comment. Large flipping family says, pregnant, tell me, not really digging this conversation.
Nice.
Pretty funny. But yeah, so that's one of those things I want to eat. There's another one that I hear it's really bad food, so maybe I want to try it one time. The 1,000-year duck egg. You know what I'm talking about, CP?
Yeah.
You see like these challenges on YouTube with this thing, but
it's a fermented quail egg or a fermented duck egg.
Right.
They call them a 100-year egg or 1,000-year egg. You can get those from the Asian market.
You can. Yes. Yeah. And they look like hideous. They're like purple.
They turn into like gel.
Oh, okay. But like I think at some time in my vlogs you might see that thing.
If they're for the challenge, are they just eating it by itself? Because I think they use it in dishes, so you're not getting just the ammonium from that. You're mixing it with other stuff, and you're taking a scoop of this and a little bit of that, and then you're eating it, so it's not as potent.
I think all the challenges on YouTube I've seen
they're just eating it straight.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not how it's eaten. I've always had it in dishes.
Interesting.
It is pretty
Um,
sick. It's pretty sick looking though. It's not really 100 years old, 1,000 year old. That's just the
so,
name.
the fact that we're talking about this makes us happy. We're laughing, we're joking. It's fun, right? And then when you conquer something or you try it, and you're like, damn, like I don't know why I had that wall up in my life for that. That's what we're trying to save in this show is to like really figure out ways to get happy and like to do things that are sustainable happiness type stuff. So hopefully you're enjoying the information. I haven't done this once in this show, all right? But hit the like button, all right? Hit the like button for straight up informal green room life show where you're learning some things, having some fun. Hook us up with a like. Very, very important. Okay, so you got one more, or do I have the last one?
You have the last one.
Dude, I don't think anyone's gonna guess this one. But this is one that I think is really, really important. And my wife and I were having a semi-discussion / debate about it last night. But start giving more. This is very important, okay? I've even read a happiness study on this where like a group of people, like there were 30 people in the group. 15 people were given $10 and said, you have to give this $10 to somebody. The other 15 people were saying, hey, you can give this $10 to somebody or you can just choose to spend it. Those other 15 chose to spend it. At the end, like I think it was 4 hours later, they were like, how do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10, happy or not? The first group, right? The first group, or should I say, all 30 had the option to give it to someone or spend it. And 15 of them, half of them gave it out. The other half spent it. And of the 15 that gave it out, they ranked themselves higher on the happy score than the people that spent it. Isn't that weird? Like
Not really. The happy.
I mean, not really, but you start thinking about it. You're like, giving out, your value, you're valuable, right? You're valuable. We're not talking about actual monetary bills flying around here. We're not sitting there like, all right, see you later. Bonafide said so. Like, I'm gonna get poor, right? No. I'm saying like everyone's got some.
You do it within your means.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's got value. You do it within your means. It doesn't have to be monetary. It can be just experience, right? So yesterday, my wife and I were discussing how she's like, I really think you need to stop, giving out free workout advice, right? Or making people free workouts because I hook Eric up with them, Steve Rakin with
I've been doing the same one for a month and a half.
Oh, there's a different one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look at the next tab. There's another one. Yeah, but anyway, okay. I'll discuss that with you after the show. the show. There's another tab. Sorry, but Rakin's on the other tab now. Yeah, I know a lot about it, and so I told her, I was like, this is just the time for me to give. That's just what it is. When I finally come out with a product one day, like hopefully all the people that I've given to will vouch for the product, and it would be a little bit easier to market it because other people are already talking about it. But you got to give a lot first. I've always given as much as I can. I do charge for personal training here in town because it smokes up my realistic time, like right here. And I charge for that, but I really don't like doing it because it does get kind of costly after a while, like for me, right, on my end, because I tend to give a whole lot. So my personal training rate like has been as high as 35 was the highest it ever was, like here in town, which is half of like town's charge.
Is that for a 30-minute session or a 60-minute?
No, it's a full hour, which actually ends up going like an hour and a half. I mean, an hour and 15.
That's a good rate. That's like what my little brother charged.
It's super good. That's why I'm saying I give a lot. Like I give a lot, but it smokes up my time. My time is valuable. But you got to give more. You got to give more on everything that you know about. If you're a good hustler, you're good at eBay, you're good at Amazon, man, just start making videos or something. Help people out that want to learn. Do a lot out there. Give yourself out there because a lot of people. There's definitely a significant part of this picking community that sits there and goes, I'm not going to share any secrets with anybody. It's going to create competition. Like you cannot have that greedy mentality. Like that's not going to work out in the end at all. You got to give. It takes a lot for someone to compete with you. It takes a lot. CP, I mean, you give out constantly good information. Have you seen your pocketbook? Have you seen your pocketbook get affected yet?
Just information. I bought my mom a car last year.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, giving is just. It makes you feel good. I bet you would be a 10 at that happy scale pretty quick if you did that. I mean, when you did that.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah. How does she feel?
She's just super stoked on it because it was at a needed time because her credit wasn't doing too well. They wouldn't finance anything. And then it was just like, here you go. And it was kind of solved all her problems at once.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So yeah, give as much as you can. I mean, there's gonna be a part where, eventually when you're proficient and you do, you can charge things, yeah, but give a lot in the first part. I mean, if you look at my track record, Rakin's track record, CP's track record, we've made a lot of videos on YouTube divulging a lot of good information. smoked up weeks and months of our time, you know, in editing and all that kind of stuff, things that we didn't have to do. But our mentalities told us to do it. We never saw the end game. We didn't do it because we saw a green room around the corner and like opportunities like that. We did it because we wanted to give. Like that was the reason why we did it. And then eventually with proficiency comes people commenting saying, why don't you make a guide? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You should get paid for your time. You should do consulting. Like, you know, it's just one of those. And that comes with time. But you got to give a whole lot. And then you start realizing people look at you as a little bit of an authority figure, right? Not to the top, but closer to the top is what I want to say. I don't ever want to rank myself above people in this space. I don't think it's right. But yeah, how do you feel about that, CP? I mean, outside of your mom, giving your mom a car and everything, like just straight up in life, you are a giving kind of person. You've given a lot of people money. You've given some green roomers some money to help get here, right? I thought you
Yeah.
helped. Didn't you help with the Cody Australia or something? Like you've given money to some people, like right?
He didn't have the bike, so I did give him the bike.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But that was, to me, what I had into the bike was worth way less than the experience he was going to have, and he's going to have that for the rest of his life.
That's right.
That's like worth way more than that.
Yeah. Mr. Sadie just says, just imagine if no one ever told you anything, where would you be in your life? Give it and it will come back tenfold. I like that, Mr. Sadie. That's a really, really good insight right there. Clearing Clutter for Clarity says, making videos is also like giving. When people like and comment, it feels great knowing that someone was helped. You're absolutely right. And you know the profit is small. Helping is why I started my channels. Cool. Thriftologist says, that's awesome, CP. Cool. Almost Antique MN says, good morning. Lauren says, this is the person that wants to get into the fat bikes and everything, but says, I really want to start posting YouTube videos. I think I can really help people. I just have never made one before. CP, what would you say to that?
Do you have a Mac or a PC?
No, you don't even need that anymore to make videos. You just need a cell phone.
Oh, you could do it on a cell phone.
Yeah, that's right. So Clearing Clutter for Clarity says, jump right in. You know, there are a lot of people, if you have what you think is a loophole, cheats, hacks, tips, strategies of something that you're really good at, and you clearly show proficiency at it, you absolutely should share it, right? You absolutely should share it. And YouTube is one of the best ways to share that kind of stuff. Because it's almost like no one's really judged on YouTube, although there are haters out there. But for the most part, it's a very organic based site, right?
Even if you're scared of putting your face out there, you could still, like, people blog and get a lot of steam and a lot of community through that. Like, I've been reading that Mr. Money Mustache guy. He's got a really, really good blog.
Oh, interesting. What does the blog have to do with?
That's financial freedom, early retirement, just like smart financial decisions. I was reading his thing on the Nissan Leaf that he bought.
And what did it come down to?
He got it for really cheap. He got like because the tax credits all like piled up, the $7,500 tax credit for the federal. He bought it when it
first came out then, right?
No, he just bought it in 2016.
And
Colorado had a tax credit, federal tax credit. I think it's still $7,500 for a new electric vehicle.
Wow, that's
brings
huge.
It down almost like $10,000. And then he got 0% financing. Like, you got to read the whole thing. He had 0% financing, and they brought whatever price down because his credit was so good from Nissan.
I have 0% on the Prius.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. Although I think we're going to pay it off here soon because it's really close to the end. But anyway, with some really interesting comments coming in here. I have a PC, a laptop, iPad, and desktop. Lauren, you have no excuses. You got to get it to making videos.
Videos, blogging, something.
Look at Texas Gal Treasures, for example. I mean, for someone like Margaret, and I'll just speak on my behalf, but we can have her input as well. Margaret, was it easy making your first video? Was it easy getting out there and putting yourself out there? Yeah, let me know. For me, like, if you look at my first video, you are going to cringe, CP. Like, you will absolutely cringe. If I look at your first videos,
I've seen your first video.
Yeah, well, then you've clearly cringed already in your life. But
the comments were like, "Dem eyebrows."
Dude, that was 20 videos in. Someone was like, "Dude, your eyebrows are crazy," and I was like, I started freaking out. But I thought it was really funny.
It comes with the territory.
It does. It's just part of it. It wrecked me for about a good 15 minutes, and then I was like, you know what? This is one out of like thousands of comments I've gotten. Like, you know what? I'll just focus on the other 999. But I did go pluck my eyebrows after that. Anyway,
that's so funny.
Texas Gal Treasure says no. It was uncomfortable. I was so shy and quiet. I have my first one still up. I think it's important for people to see the trajectory of where you've come in, on your videos and everything like that. That's why I leave mine up there. It's important to people to see the journey. Lauren says, I'll try a video soon, guys. It probably won't be edited very well. It's okay. It doesn't have to be edited at all. It could be a one take. But just here's my one suggestion when you do a video. So have your points clear, concise, and try to make the thing sub 6 minutes. There's your number one tip right now. Sub 6 minutes, awesome tips. Have an outline in front of you if possible. If you have to read off of it, that's okay. But and then be enthusiastic. When I was on the Travel Channel show, right? It was like a one episode thing. When I was on that, the director or the producer told me, when we first got to Puerto Rico, they were like, all right, we want you to get amped up. And I was like, okay, I can do that. Because I was like, okay, I'm bona fide hustler, I can get amped up. And you're like, but the problem is when you think you're amped up, it's not enough on TV land. It's just not enough. So if you're really excited about something, you have to be really excited about something. So going back to Lauren here, if you're going to make a video, be enthusiastic. And when you think you're being enthusiastic, go over and beyond and be enthusiastic, really, really care and show, emotions and all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was really interesting. And then when I watched the episode back, by the way, on the Travel Channel thing, I'm like, dude, I look like super bland. And I thought I was ecstatic during the whole thing. It was weird. It was the weirdest thing ever. You think you're acting totally happy and everything. Then you see yourself on the film and you're like, that's not me. But you did the best you can. So anyway, I guess that's pretty much, is that the last one, CP?
I had friends and families down, but that's everybody knows. You got to have a good family structure. You want to have good friends, people that are going to be pushing you in the correct direction, not bringing you down.
Yeah. Cool. I hear you. 30 says, so thank you, by the way, for watching the show, guys. Hook the like button up. We have 2 people that dislike this show, CP. What do we do with these people?
I don't know.
Run them over with our unicycle. That's what
it might have just been some random person that stumbled upon it and was just like, I don't like those eyebrows.
It's all good. They don't like the eyebrows. They don't like the duck eggs. They don't like wine and cheese off meetup.com. They don't like any of that. They don't like Dungeons and Dragons. They don't like your bicycle tour. It's all good. I'm just kidding. No, it was really fun hanging out with you guys. That's what Green and Life is all about. I love these shows on Tuesday mornings because, it's very bullet point only, and then we just kind of elaborate on those things. So hopefully you got something out of this on the 10 ways to, be happy, or 10 tips, however you want to call it. Every time you see a Tuesday morning show, that's a Green Room Life. It is going to be very informal. If you do want to join the Green Room, which is our private paid Facebook group, you can go check out the links below. But the Green Room Life is, if you join the Green Room, which is all the hustling and cool money talk and all that kind of stuff, but the Green Room Life comes with it, but you have to make a request to be in it. So we don't automatically put you in the Green Room Life unless you make a request.
Yeah, make the extra effort.
Yep. So the Green Room Life right now has 335 members in it. Our main room has 910. So, confident to say that a third of our members actually really care about happiness and fitness and doing better things and better diets and sleep habits and, enjoying life. I think it's very important. I would love to see that number grow. And if you're in the Green Room and you're watching this show right now, make a request to be in Green Room Life if you're not in it, and we will approve you. And yeah, put up whatever you're doing. It doesn't matter if it's a weight loss challenge. If it doesn't matter if it's you working out at a gym, eating a good smoothie, like when we had a juice from Margaret the other day on there, and real proud of everybody. And that will become something in itself one day. So Green Room Life is a very organic type thing we started about 4 or 5 months ago to see how it would do. And we had a lot of people that wanted to get in there and join. And now people are talking behind the scenes. And it's good. It gives people a voice for all the things that are not hustling. It's very important that we're not all about the money, and it's all about all these other things that we really care about in life. That's what Green Room Life's about. So it was good hanging out with you guys. Eric, got anything to say?
Oh, thanks everyone for coming on Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday morning even.
Tuesday morning, man. I don't know what time zone you're in, but Tuesday morning, man. We'll see you guys later. Take it easy.
Bye.